Dear students, today I would like to introduce a new chapter. Climate change is not hysteria, it is a fact. It is connected to climate, it is connected to environment, right? It was written, the article Leonardo DiCaprio. Have you heard about Leonardo DiCaprio? Yes, he was an actor. Who is an actor? We want to introduce Leonardo DiCaprio. Come on, what's that? Leonardo DiCaprio here. The other is Leonardo DiCaprio. Yes, see the picture. Leonardo William DiCaprio was born on November 11, 1974. Is an American actor, producer, the founder of Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation, and a UN messenger of peace with a special focus on climate changes. Right? He gained public recognition with the leading roles in drama and films before he achieving international fame with the James Cameron epic romance Titanic. Have you ever seen Titanic? Yes, that's in the year 1997. He is also committed environmentalist. So, Leonardo DiCaprio is an American actor, producer, and also environmentalist, and also very gave more preference for climate. And moreover, he was one of the UN messenger. UN mean United Nations messenger of peace, PEAC, peace with a special focus on climate changes. UN messenger, United Nations organization messenger also for peace. So let us introduce Leonardo DiCaprio over, and we want to come our chapter name. What was that? Connected to environment, connected to nature, connected to earth, connected to climate. Okay, climate change is not hysteria, it is a fact. Okay, it's article written by Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio, we understood, actor, American actor, producer, UN messenger of peace. Okay, what she said there, that means there was a caption is there. Climate change is no longer some far off problem. It is happening here. It is happening now. This is Barack Obama's statement, former American president, right? Barack Obama, right? Here, let us hear the speech. This was a speech, or this article is a speech done by Leonardo DiCaprio in UN Assembly by Leonardo DiCaprio. That means for connected about the climate summit. Okay, it was a speech. You know how to write a speech. First one, introduction. There comes content. After there comes conclusion. Introduction, content, conclusion. That's a very important point for connected to speech, right? So you must know about how to write a speech. That's a very important question. The exam will come. Every exam, the speech is one of the important question. So you must know how to write a speech. Introduction, content, conclusion. So here the heading is that climate changes is not hysteria, it is a fact. What is this? This is a speech done by Leonardo DiCaprio in UN Assembly for climate changes. Understood? Where it was in UN Assembly, yes, United Nations Assembly session. Then he conducted beautiful speech. Okay, how he start the speech? Let's see. First, thank you, Mr. Secretary General, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. So that was the introduction. If you start the speech, you should have to come into contact with the introduction. What is the word you said? Thank you, Mr. Secretary General, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. First, we wish the stage dignitary members on the stage. Then he says, I am honored to be here today. I stand before you not as an expert but as a concerned citizen. So he is, from these words we can understand he was a humble person. That is, he said that I'm an ordinary person, not expert, not everything. I don't know anything about more about climate, but I'm not expert, but I am a humble person as a citizen, just like us. One of this here, 400,000 people who was marched in the streets of New York on Sunday, and the billions of others around the world who want to solve our climate crisis. That means some of these marches may be conducted connected to climate changes. How many people are participated? Maybe this amount of people are participated Sunday in New York. Okay. Then he says about what? Then he says about, right, as an actor, I pretend for a living. I play fictitious characters, often solving fictitious problems. That means he is acting in the actor in the film just like a character. That is only fiction in order to solve the fiction's problems. But this problem is very different. That means climate change is very different problem. I believe what mankind has looked at climate changes in that same way as if it was fiction. That means mankind could not understand the serious about climate changes. Still, man believe in the it is in the not a serious way. That means fiction happening to someone else planet, as if you're pretending that climate changes was not real would somehow make it go away. This paragraph says about the people didn't consider what climate changes is an important problem. They considered it as just a story, just a fiction's characters. So we must be aware of the climate changes. That was his second paragraph addressed to this audience. Okay. Then, but I think we know better than that. Every week we are seeing new and undeniable climate events. Yes, day by day, the climate came into change. See, our climate also now actually we have hot climates, but here is now raining is going on. So this is it changes. How it happened? Why the people are not to take it serious? You already say that I am not expert for saying this, but as a messenger of UN, I just say some words. So, but I think we know better than that. Every week, what happened? We are seeing new and undeniable climate events, right? Evidence that accelerated climate changes is here now. Yes, we know that droughts are intensifying. Yes, why it's a climate changes? One of the reason is that droughts. You know droughts. Yes, droughts. You know. Yes, that without water, scarcity of water, the soil comes in a drought. That means scarcity of water. Droughts are intensifying. That means increasing. Very severe now droughts. Water is very precious. If we use this water, we should have to care. But we don't care about water. We have spent lot of water here and there with in the way of wasting the water. So that is cause for droughts. So droughts is intensifying. Our oceans are warming and acidifying. That is, it comes to be as in different shape, a different taste of this water, and different feeling of this. That means warming. That means very hot. That means seawater comes into very different. That's why it comes just sometimes a tsunami. Some changes comes in this way. With methane plumps are rising up from the beneath the ocean floor. This all connected to science world. You listen this science word apps to us some of the changes due to that climate also changes us. We are seeing extreme weather events, increased temperature. Yes, we see sometimes even rain also. Sometimes we have felt hot. Is it? Did you feel it? Yes. The Increased temperature is one of the reason. Weather events also come to change, and West Atlantic and Greenland ice sheets melting. That means the Greenland is, there's too much ice is there. Antarctic also is ice, too much ice is there. It's a very cold place. The melting, the ice is melting. What way? Unprecedented rates. That is, ice is melting in very, very different way. Not in before. It is nowadays it is melting in different rates, decades ahead of scientific projections. That means climate changes caused for some changes in Antarctica and Greenland. The ice come to be what melting in different way. Okay, next paragraph. None of it is rhetoric, and none of it was hysteria. It is a fact. But people believe that it is not. It is due to some way in the way of hysteria. But it is a fact. The scientific community knows it. Yes. The industry knows it. And the government knows it. Climate changes is our single greatest security threat. Now we face different threats, just like tsunami, just like this, what is epidemic, what is it? Corona, the COVID-19. So many things, epidemic and natural calamities comes out. But next one is that climate changes. This comes to be very severe. People didn't care about this. People don't understand the importance of climate changes. Already we get some kinds of symbol or signs, that is ice melting, and some other thing happened in Antarctic and Greenland. And also we have to felt it. That means rainy season we felt hot. That's also one of the symbol. So scientific community want to know this. Scientific, that means scientists also, scientific people also want to know the climate changes. And other people who? The industry also knows it. Then afterwards and the government knows it. Okay. These people want to care about this. Climate changes is our single greatest security threat. That was one of the threat we want to face. The next threat will arise, that is in the way of climate changes. It is very dangerous according to Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay, so we must be careful. Scientific society want to care, government should care, industry should care, because it was a great threat. It will comes arise nowadays. So we want to care for more climate and our society and our nature and our environment. All right, my friend, this body, perhaps more than any other, this body means this organization, that United Nations organization, that's the body here mentioned, perhaps more than any other gathering in a human history, okay, now faces this difficulty but achievable task. We can achieve, we can remove this threat by our effort. So UN Assembly should should care about this work. Okay, you can make history or you will be validated by it. To be clear, this is not about just telling people to change their lights bulb or to buy a hybrid car. Yes, this is not easy. At the same time, it is easy too. So you must be precaution for the climate changes. It is not easy to stop by just to buy from the bulb in the shop, and at the same time, it's not easy to stop also. So it is not at the same. It is easy to stop also, but we must be care. We must organize together. We must understand the threat of these climate changes. It is not easy. At the same time, if we work, it will easy. Okay, this disaster has grown beyond these choices that individual make. This is now about our industries and our government around the world taking decisive, strong, large-scale action. That means now it's a time is too much. That is why the government should, industries and government should work together and to enforce some important action to stop or in the way of our threat. So we must care about that one, especially industries and the government should group together, and we want to try to find out a solution. Okay. Then he said that I'm not a scientist. I am not a scientist, but I don't need to be. Yeah, because the world scientific community has spoken and they have given us our prognosis. That means hero. If we do not act together, we will surely perish. Yes. Here we don't want to. The hero prognosis means hero. That means here one person cannot stop this mean danger. We should be grouped together. We should be together work. Then we want to what perish. That means stop or destroy this what threat. So we must be grouping together. Don't think to I'm a hero and I can stop this. No, it is not possible. We wanted to work together and find out the remedies, and we should have to give more. That means he said that never exploit nature. We should preserve the nature. We should admire our motherland. I mean, Mother Earth. That means yes, the industries he sees how many smokes are going on. It is also comes to be as one of the danger threat for our environment. So that's why he said that to industries here mentioned because of that. Why industries mentioned? Because it's see that poison smokes maybe it's arise up to the sky, and it will goes to in a different actions in our climate. So we should preserve the climate. We should care our climate. We should care our nature. We never exploit our nature. We don't care. Think that we don't care the nature. We are sometimes responsible for this risk and threat. So we want to unite it together, and we want to care the nature perfectly. We want to admire, respect our Mother Earth, and we want to protect our environment by stopping these kinds of pollution. See the picture? Okay. Now is our moment for action. What do you want to do? We need to put a price tag on carbon emission. Carbon emission means too much carbon is outside. For example, in car, lorry, trucks, bus, and too much carbon is comes in outside. It's too much problem in particularly in the city. We didn't see the danger of this carbon, but it is smoke comes to be as a kind of the threat for us, and it is a polluted air we will use as an oxygen. That means we ask to breathe the polluted air. It will cause our uh, sudden damage in our humanity as well as in the societies. So we need to put a price tag on carbon emission. That means we should strictly, what is that, give a law for carbon emission. That is why sometimes the pollution paper in the vehicle is there. So we want to use it very perfectly, and at the same time eliminate government subsidies for what? Coal, coal, kalkari. That's also we want to avoid the subsidies. It is recommended by government should be take the interest to give subsidy for coal, and gas also we want to never government give subsidy, and oil companies we don't want to give this subsidy. So these are maybe the according to Leonardo Caprio. What is that? Leonardo Caprio. These are maybe main threat for our polluted air. So this is cause for climate changes, and that is why we want to strictly regulate this coal, at the same time gas and oil companies, because it is when this manufacturing such a industries, it will be cost for too much damage, just like in the smokes, and it will be polluted over here. That means industries pollutes means the destroy have been given the name of a free market economy. They don't deserve our tax dollars. They deserve our scrutiny. For this economy itself will be uh, die our ecosystem collapse. So because of this reason, we should have to use proper regulation. The government should be regulated, control some of the authority. then only we can sustain, we can protect our environment. If it's not protect our environment, it will goes for climate changes. After climate changes, it will affect our humanity and the future generation people also is affects in this way. Okay, then there is a was the good news is that renewable energy is not only achievable but good economic policy. We need economic good policy. The government should have to ensure a good economic policy. Then we can control which is polluted, which is not polluted. You say. This is not a partisan debate. Yeah, we don't think that it's a debate. Just as saying, I'm not expert. He already said it. I just a saying. It is not a debate. It is a human one. Okay, clean air and water. Yes, then only our health also comes into good. That means the village people are very lucky because they have no air pollution. But in city lives it's very difficult because of polluted air we are breathe. So that's why too much people are admitted for an indirect reason for in the hospital and case for death. So that is why we want clean air and water and livable climate are inflammable is human rights. That's our rights. Humans are rights and duties. We have the rights towards that. We want to, the government will provide the measure for pure air and water. It is a very livable for us and it is essential for us. It is governments and the authority will take action for the betterment of the people health. If it is polluted, water is polluted or the air is polluted, it will cause for the damage of human body and it is indirectly goes to hospital and commit maybe falling dead. So in order to avoid that, government is ensure some of the regulations, introduce some of the regulation to control the pollution, and we should get make sure that people will get clean air and water. It is essential for human rights. And solving this crisis is not a question for politics. It is a question of our survival. Actually, it is don't consider as a debate. Don't consider it as a one political section's argument or other political section argument. It is not for political issue. It is issue for our survival. If you want to live, if you want to live properly, if you want to live, our generation want a good manner. If you want to see this wonder of the world, wonder of the earth and nature, it should be we should have to follow some of the strict discipline, and at the same time we want to, the authority should have to ensure some of the good things, and then only we can solve this problem. Okay, it is one of the human rights and we want to survive well in a nice way. We should have to follow some of the things and the government should ensure some of the things. It just says about an advice in the way of to government. Okay, we only get one planet. Humankind must become accountable on massive scale for this wanton destructions of our collective home. Protecting our future on the planet depends on this conscious evolution of our species. A species means jivika. Okay, this planet you don't. This is only connected to science. So we must do this. Air pollution is one of the danger threat for our climate. So we should be very careful for the air pollutions. And he addressed the audience. Please use some regulation for that. This is the most urgent of time and the most urgent of message. Yeah. Honored delegates, that's his conclusion is now. How to conclude, see the conclusion of speech. You must know how to write a conclusion. Honored delegates, leaders of the world, I pretend for living. But you don't. The people made their voices heard on Sunday around the world. And the momentum will not stop. And now it's your turn, the time to answer the greatest challenge of our existence on this planet now. So he is warning we should have to cooperate together for our existence. Okay, we beg of you to face it with courage and honesty. Thank you. So that's the end of the speech. He addressed to the all people to then we give all kinds of cooperation and we should work together for this threat. So that's the end of this speech. So you must be know how to write the speech. First one, introduction. He introduced very nicely here. See, these words are here. What was introduction he is here used to this? See that. Thank you, Mr. Secretary General, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. Have you ever spoke? Have you ever spoken some on the stage? Ever spoken on stage? No. Yes, someone is. Says it should be used for you how to speak in front of the audience, and that's the introduction. After its second paragraph, third and fourth, fifth, sixth, all paragraph is content, and last one is that conclusion. How to conclude? The conclude word is this one. So first paragraph is introduction is one, then content is maybe 6 or 5 or 4 or 3 paragraph, or its conclusion is last one paragraph. This is honored delegates, leaders of the world. I pretend for a living, but you don't. The people made their voice here on Sunday around the world, and the momentum will not stop. And now it is your turn. It is our turn. Your turn means each of us. The time to answer the greatest challenge. What was the challenge? Climate changes. Our existence, it will cost for the threat of our existence on this planet is now. So that is a conclusion. Then he again says about, we beg of you to face it with courage and honesty. Thank you. That's about Leonardo DiCaprio to say about that. So yes, so much questions are here. So you should have to write in your answer sheet. So most important thing is that definitely the question will come in the examination the way of how to write a speech. It is any chapter, it will comes in the way of the, you must know how to write a speech. Introduction, content and conclusion. Here is so many questions I told it. It is you get from HSS Live Guru. That's a site. You should have to use it and write in your notebook. And your school is celebrating National Science Day, and you should have to, on the base of that, you have to prepare a notice. You want to know from 8th standard itself, you have to getting that how to write a notice. Okay. Then this HSS Live Guru. You have to get in that notice clearly. And here is prepare. We have few poster. Poster. How to make a poster, and you write a caption inside the poster. That is also very important question. Notice, poster. That means, and it is here is the email. You want to write the email. The answer is also in the HSS Live Guru. You should have to practice that one. These things are very important in examination. Poster, notice, speech, email. That's very important. You must be. That means this. The delivering your speech evaluated your performance. That means first address to the guest. I told briefly mentioned in the importance of this day and welcome the guests, and that's all introduction. Highlighted the important of chief guest. Okay, that's all the introductions concludes. Okay, after content, then last conclude appropriately. That means correctly. So that is a way of speech. Okay, so many activities there. You can look into the HSS Live Guru that site and fill it very perfect in the textbook. But you should remember poster, speech, notice, should have email. That should have learned very perfectly, because exam it will comes in the examination definitely. So you should have to practice very nicely that one. Okay, so see that the present and sentence in the past, you know how to write in the past, and the present is today, that yesterday is the past. Similarly words you can say that here is that last week, that means then, so far, yet. So many words are there, you can find in that. Okay, so listen to the mountains questions also, something is here. See that one. Okay, right, fine. So important thing you must be aware that the phrasal verb. This is very important. Last years also this paragraph will come. This is exactly this one will come. You must be find out this one. That's activity 5. Very, very important activity 5. It should be right in your notebook. So this is a phrasal verb. You must be know phrasal verb. You must know speech. You must know notice. You must know email. you must know posture. These 5 things you must be very careful write into the notebook. Then you can definitely get the answers from the Success Guru Live. So, would you like to write that one? Okay, that's about today. I will wind up my class. See you next classes with another chapter. Okay, you should write the things. 5 things I already told. It's very important examination. So that's very important things. Don't forget. Should be right in the notebook. Okay. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.